Mitt Romney, if he wins, it will confirm the political strategy that both sides use. You tack to your base during the primary, and then you tack to the center during the general. The Democrats do it. We didn't have a primary in this case, but Obama did it in 2008. Republicans do it too. But I think it will also confirm that America is a center-right country, and that Mitt Romney, he actually possessed both of those qualities. And remember, back in 2008, President Obama, when he went to the center to campaign in the general, he sounded like maybe a center-right guy. He was a guy who said, I'll take ideas from both sides. Conservatism had some appeal to him. His very first campaign ad after he won the Democratic primary was him with a group of elderly white people talking about what a centrist and pragmatist he was. Not a liberal, not a leftist. He's governed as a leftist, and I think that's hurting him at the polls now.
Let me put up some numbers to illustrate exactly what you just said, Amy, that the country is center-right. This is from Gallup in January of 2012. It shows that 40% of Americans self-identify as conservative, with 35 identifying as moderate, whatever that means. We'll let Buck define that off and on throughout this segment. And liberals only 21%. So, but let's play the game the other way, Matt. Mitt Romney loses this election. What will conservatives say to themselves after that? Will they say, we did it again, we nominated another John McCain, the most moderate guy in the field outside of John Huntsman, I guess. They nominated the most moderate guy in the field, and he lost again. When are we going to learn our lesson? Will that be the hair-pulling narrative?
Most likely. Can I just comment real quick on if Mitt wins?
Sure.
Just really quickly. I think it shows, I agree with everybody here at the table, but I think it also shows that people are voting on fiscal issues, not social issues. Because I think fiscally, I think America is even more conservative than the 40% you just put up there. I just wanted to get that out real quick, because I think that's important, especially the situation we are with the economy. If Obama wins, yeah, the GOP is going to come out and they're going to say the same thing. They say, we need somebody to be a staunch Republican, play the far-right card, get that vote, and I think you're not going to lose that vote being who Romney is right now, being more a little center, but I think maybe you won't get as many people out to the polls. Very similar to Obama. I think he's not getting as many people out to the polls right now, so I think that's the way you can go with it. But what's your choice? I mean, really, what is your other choice as far as the GOP is concerned?
No one can sit here and say Mitt Romney did not run this race as a conservative. He was very bold on conservative principles through the primary debates, through the debates with Obama. I think he did a great job of presenting two very different visions for the country. So I think if the GOP now comes out and say, well, we have moderate Mitt, I don't think that's fair. I think to say we have a guy who has a proven history of reaching across the aisle, that's fair. But to call him moderate doesn't
Let's do this
real
quick, because we have had this conversation, as I said, consistently for 4 years. What kind of conservatism are we going to attempt to sell? But we haven't heard the other side's conversation for quite some time. And that's what happens if Barack Obama loses? What kind of introspection will the left indulge in? I mean, after John Kerry, they had to ask themselves some tough questions about who they got behind. And if you remember, before John Kerry, they had a long drought. I had Bill Clinton. Prior to Bill Clinton, they had a long drought, asking themselves, what's the
I have a theory on this. I have a theory because I think that the left will go into a tactical retreat, but not a strategic one. They view, because assuming that Romney would come in and get rid of Obamacare, they view the possibility of nationalizing health care, which is, I know people say that's not what's happening, but if you look at actually what would likely happen to private insurance, the government would effectively take it over, right? That has been something they've wanted going back all the way to FDR. They push for it now when they had the House and the Senate. If somehow they are derailed from that, it's only a matter of time before they come back to it again. So yes, you'll see some gnashing of teeth, and some people, there'll be some recriminations about what happened with Barack Obama, but if Barack Obama loses, it's only a matter of time before some of the hard left agenda comes back.
Well, we've already seen on the Democratic side that Howard Dean is given tremendous credit for getting Democrats back in power in 2006. And Bill Galston, he's a Democratic pollster, he warned the Democratic Party before the midterms in 2010, Obamacare goes too far, it is turning off conservative Democrats, blue dogs are going to get annihilated, and they did. And what was the conversation? We didn't go far enough. We should have had, we should have had basically one-stop health insurance. The stimulus was too small. It should have been much, much bigger, and then we would have had better economic outcomes. So interestingly, I think on the other side, less introspection. There have been voices telling them to move to the center, but the Democratic Party hasn't listened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the left will tack to the center or take that hard left base to take their advice. I don't know. Bill Clinton was attacked to the center.
Right.
That was when they got back in power. So we'll see.